Let's check in with the third member of our broadcast team. It's Natalie Noury.
Just to draw some attention to this again, these two teams weren't picked very high up in the Hockey East preseason poll. PC at 6, UNH at 10 out of 11. But hey, within the first month of the season, both the Friars and the Wildcats have worked their way into the top 20 of the country. He thinks Quinnipiac has them covered pretty well, and they're really taking advantage of their space out there. So when I asked what's the messaging here in the second period, he said we need to move the puck a little more. I think we're trying to make the perfect play right now, and sometimes it's just not there. So right now we just need to keep things simple, stick to our systems, move the puck, and try to establish a bit more of a presence here in the second period. Back to this heartwarming moment. Woo Sox photographers Taylor Bolduc and Ashley Green captured these pictures of Nico Goodrum as he celebrated his second inning home run on his daughter's second birthday. The whole top line for UNH has been very impressive. 7 points from them last Friday, 3 last night, and already 2 tonight. And out there we have Liam Devlin, Cy Leclerc, and Ryan Conmey. While 2 of them are returning players, Ryan Conmey is making a name for himself early on this year as a freshman. He had 3 assists last weekend versus BU and his first collegiate goal last night. I asked him before the game today what he plans on doing with that puck, and he said he'll stash it at home in Virginia with all the rest of the special keepsakes he has. We've talked about the 7 home runs in yesterday's game. The first one coming off of the first pitch hit by Cedon Rafaela out here to the berm in Polar Park, but that's 7 home runs encroaching on the record 8 in franchise history back in 2002 when the Woo Sox were still the Paw Sox. As we know yesterday, Chad Tracy alluded to the fact that there's so much depth in the infield right now that we might not always see those same players there, and we see it tonight. Last night, David Hamilton played at second base, and tonight he's at center field, which he hasn't done too many times this season. While the hockey world mourns the passing of Adam Johnson after the horrific accident that happened over in England between Sheffield and Nottingham during a hockey game, the event hits close to home for UNH forward Harrison Blaisdell, whose dad actually played and coached for both Sheffield and Nottingham in the late 90s into the early 2000s. Now, Harrison talked to us about it this week, and he said he grew up around the rink and around the staff, and he was actually born in Sheffield and lived in Nottingham, but he watched his dad win championships like these. So when I asked about this connection, he told me his father, Mike, is still very connected with both teams and staff over there as well, and he's heard a lot. It's been a somber time, and he's taken to check in and support those he knows. Natalie Noury here with Northeastern assistant coach Melissa Piacentini. Coach, yesterday it was a 1-0 win, but this is the second game of the series. So what are you hoping to carry over from yesterday's effort?
Yeah, I think yesterday was a good test for us. We talked about it in video.
And the lone goal yesterday came from a freshman, Peyton Compton, her first of the season, of course. How does that early production from freshmen kind of forecast the talent that you'll have out there this year?
Yeah, I thought our incomers did a great job. Yeah.
Still scoreless in the first period, but I want to talk about yesterday's first period, a special and early milestone to reach for freshman forward Peyton Compton. She scored her first career goal on the power play in that period, and I got the opportunity to talk to her before the game today and asked her about the emotion of that moment, and she said that was one of the coolest things that I've experienced in my entire life so far. She said to be able to start that process early here in my new home is great, and her dad was in the audience. He's visiting from home in Florida. Well, Ryan, 3 assists for you last weekend. First college goal tonight. Congratulations. What kind of confidence are you feeling right now?
Just building confidence after every shift is huge. Obviously, new team, so kind of gelling with the guys. Everyone keep going.
And let's touch on that a little bit. It seems like you've set up your teammates, your line mates. Now they're setting you up in return. So what kind of chemistry have you been able to develop with Devlin and Leclerc early on?
Yeah, I mean, we've been together for 4 weeks over the summer too, so.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win. Your team stayed very patient and composed tonight. What can you say about their resilience?
You know, I'm just really proud of them. It's been a long stretch. I think our team really earned that.
A performance that stood out was Brianna Brooks tonight. A couple of great assists and then a great setup play to close this game out. How'd you see her step up?
Yeah, she's been playing great a lot lately.
You wanted your team to stay focused and to make sure they were finishing possessions. How do you feel that they did that in the second half?
Yeah, obviously because of the score, they did that.
And you mentioned the number 2 seeding with this win. What's the mindset now?
Well, I mean, hopefully we've seen how good we can be.
Now Barrington is led by longtime football coach Sandy Gorham. What kind of team are you expecting from him tonight?
Well coached.
All right, now both teams are coming off of a loss last week. You also beat Barrington in playoffs last season. So there's some competition on the line tonight. How important is it, and what is the key to first having fun, but also defending those bragging rights?
So Barrington.
Now, last week you had a 31-0 win against Johnston, so things are working well on both sides of the ball for your team. What are you noticing right now that you like so far from the Wizards?
Well, I mean, we're physical, you know, we're
For sure. Now, it is homecoming as well. How exciting is this for the kids?
this is awesome for the kids. I mean, great environment.
And we kind of established the importance of this game tonight, but what's on the line? How important is it to go out there and get the win?
So, conference championship.
Got some energy going. I still think we need some more.
Well, you mentioned that energy, and you do have the lead now, but UNH is close behind. So what do you need to do to close this game out?
Able to get our big guy involved underneath, which really helps our offense. And then I thought Allende was really good. So when those two guys play well, we usually get off to a good start.
And I'd like to talk about Alan Blunt for a second, scoring his 1,000th point that first half and counting. How special is that for him?
Yeah, I mean, he's an unbelievable kid.
During the intermission, I spoke to BU assistant coach Kim Brandvold. He said we had a lot of self-inflicted damage during that period. We haven't really gotten a chance to really get back to our game, and we knew special teams was a point of emphasis for BU coming in, but Coach Brandvold said, and I quote, special teams are looking horrendous right now, so we need to clean up on that front. Welcome back to the Whittemore Center. Natalie Noury here with you, and we know how connected the hockey community is, especially here in Hockey East, but two men competing here tonight have been facing off for decades, and that is both head coaches Jerry Keefe and Mike Souza, who started playing each other back in their high school days back in Massachusetts.